Hi, it's Tesh from Turnbuckle Times, and in today's wrestling news in under 5 minutes, Triple H has announced that a legendary match stipulation is coming to this year's Survivor Series. Trish Stratus undergoes emergency surgery after driving herself to hospital. And in Kenny Omega's first public outing since the altercation at All Out, he displayed a bruise on his arm in the shape of a bite mark. For the first time in the company's history, War Games is coming to the WWE's main roster. The match, which features a massive cage surrounding 2 rings and traditionally involves 2 teams of wrestlers entering the ring in staggered fashion, and which only ends when every member of one team has been pinned or made to submit, has been an annual staple of WWE NXT for years, with the first takeover War Games taking place in 2017, and the first women's War Games match added to the event in 2019. It's a match with a long and storied history, dating all the way back to 1987 and involves numerous legendary wrestlers, but it's never before been seen at a major WWE event. That all changes this November. In an exclusive interview with The Ringer, WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque revealed that 2 War Games matches will take place at Survivor Series 2022 in Boston, Massachusetts. Triple H said, "We'll have a men's War Games match and a women's War Games match. The tradition of the Survivor Series has ebbed and flowed and changed slightly over time, but this will be similar to that." In the interview, Triple H also confirmed that this year's Survivor Series will not follow the pattern it had from 2016 all the way to 2021, where wrestlers would represent their respective brands in a battle for brand supremacy. He said, "This will not be Raw versus SmackDown. It will be much more storyline driven. I still look at it as a traditional component to Survivor Series in there because it's large teams of people competing. We just upped the ante a little bit with War Games and made it evolve." Trish Stratus recently underwent successful surgery to remove her appendix. The WWE Hall of Famer revealed via social media that she drove herself to the hospital after experiencing a nagging pain in her lower right quadrant. Upon reaching the hospital, Stratus discovered that her appendix was about to burst and that it was a wise decision on her part to rush to the emergency room. Alongside a lengthy note describing her ordeal, Stratus shared a video of herself at the hospital, where she revealed that she was working through the pain after a crampy 10-hour travel day last Monday, and was preparing to make an announcement until she realized the pain was getting pretty intense and had to be tended to. Trish wrote, "I have a pretty high pain tolerance, so when what I thought was poop emoji cramps but ended up getting pretty intense, I drove myself to emergency and turns out my appendix was getting ready to burst, which can be really bad if it happens and cause death and stuff, so I'm really glad I went to check it out, to avoid the whole dying thing." Stratus then implored her followers to listen to your body and never take anything for granted. As for her recovery, Stratus described the situation as definitely manageable, and whilst there's no word on the nature of Stratus's announcement, there have been rumours of her returning to the ring over the past year or so. During the 22nd of August WWE Raw in Toronto, Stratus teased coming out of retirement until she was interrupted by Bayley's Damage Control stable. And lastly, after All Elite Wrestling's All Out pay-per-view, then AEW World Champion CM Punk lit the wrestling world on fire. As Punk, Tony Khan and all media guests prepared for the post-show media scrum, Punk started it off with a bang by going off on Colt Cabana, as well as Executive Vice Presidents Kenny Omega, Matt and Nick Jackson. This would lead to a physical interaction between the parties, which allegedly saw Punk's trainer and AEW executive Ace Steel bite Kenny Omega. Omega was recently in Japan for the Tokyo Game Show, and on Capcom TV's stream, a bruise on Omega's left forearm in the shape of a bite mark was hard to miss, which backs up reports by Fightful that Omega's bite mark was on his left forearm and would be hard to conceal. It also marks the first time Omega has appeared on camera since the brawl.